something.
Anyway,
He was beaten in a
Kabura, you're not yet 59, and I want to stop Mark. I want to stop Mark Kabura so that you can.
So Tiger's exciting. But let's go back to.
That's how exciting Tiger Woods is. Actually, that's why many people even follow golf in the world. Kabura, don't go to any course in Ethiopia. You'll be shot for putting the sport into disrepute. But he's still telling us about the football in Ethiopia.
Yes, Ismail, I was telling you, first of all, I must credit you for managing to shut Mark up because the man just never stops speaking. But we do appreciate his insight. Like I was saying, I'm in Hawassa and we are commentating games for SuperSport. We are trying to broadcast the Ethiopian Premier League to the world, which for me is one of the more interesting, games. I've talked about their style of play, their culture, its tic-tac, physicality in there as well. Why am I talking about this? I think there's so much comparison, so many things that the Ugandan football authorities can learn from Ethiopia. First of all, we've had a host of Ugandans, as you know, guys, that have come to play in Ethiopia for different reasons. First of all, the quality of the game, and then the money. I wrote a very long list of Ugandans who have come and played there in Ethiopia, and I'm very sure I'm going to miss some of them. You have had the likes of Dennis Onyango, who have come here and played for St. George, which of course is the most successful club in Ethiopian football with 14 league titles. You've had people like Ismail Watenga, you've had Isaac Isinde, who has played for Hadia Osania, and of course St. George itself. You've had Chrysostom Muntambi, who currently is here playing for Sebeta. I think if Uganda is looking for a good substitute for Hali Dawucho in that central defensive midfield role, Chrysostom Muntambi is going to be one of those. He's playing fantastic football for his club. But you have Yassam Gerwa, who of course did come here and also played for the likes of St. George. Robert Sentongo was here. He played for Fasil Kenema. Fasil Kenema are the defending champions, also played for St. George. You've had Savio Kabugo, who also has come here. So a host of Ugandans have come and played here. And they are really loved. Most of the Ethiopian football fans do know much about the Ugandan players, especially on but at the day, it's so huge. It's a league that attracts so many fans here. It's that attracts so much money. Just a few weeks ago, Ismail, to give you a quick perspective, one of the newly promoted clubs, Addis Ababa City, was given 90 million birr. That is by the Addis Ababa City Council for transfers. Now, when you convert that money into Ugandan money, it's about 6.7 billion Ugandan shillings. And that being promoted into the top division. So if they can get 6.7 billion just for transfers, that alone should explain to you how much money is being thrown into the league at the moment. They have imported so many players from West Africa, about 15 to 20 players. So it's easily going to become one of the biggest leagues on the African continent. Huge impact for the Ugandans here. And of course, at the end of the day, the Ethiopians do love Uganda themselves for different reasons. Some are political. They do believe there's a huge support from Kampala. But even that aside, they really do love Ugandan football. So I'm enjoying it, to be honest.
Yes, Andrew, thanks for that lowdown, and I know Charles Lukwago, like we mentioned, is also there. But Andrew, please promise NTV Press Box viewers that the next time you post a picture on your social media handles, you'll be wearing another jersey. Please. This is an appeal from us.
Get one from Muntambi.
Yeah, get one from Muntambi, because you've been wearing that yellow for more than 24 hours.
I promise put on another jersey, guys, but this is my solidarity with Ethiopia. First of all, this is a beautiful jersey.
It is very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
I agree that.
It's a fantastic jersey.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And before we take a break, remember that it's NTV Press Box every Monday night. When we get back, we still have a lot to discuss. There's someone who is walking in here with muscles that are bigger than all of us in studio. We also have Irene Nakalembe, a champion of no small proportions, because she's had to wait for a very, very long time to win. And then there's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It is a Press Box. Previously, primetime TV was supposed to be 7 to 9 p.m., but Press Box has since changed that because prime time is now after 10 p.m. and you're just joining us during prime time. This is the second part of the show, and if you've just joined us, you missed Mark Sally rapping, a lot to do with Tiger Woods, Andrew Kabura talking to us from Ethiopia, and Andrew Mwangusha talking a lot about to do with the rugby and the bomb blast that happened last week in Kampala. But you're just in time for golf because we have a champion who I would love to sing a lot of her praises because she tried 5 times to win the Uganda Open and failed on each occasion. Not failed to the extent that she finished last, but she was finishing 2nd or 3rd. And most of those occasions she was leading going into the final day, which in golf is called the pressure group. And then she would go on and choke. Irene Nakalembe, congratulations.
Thank you, Ismail.
You must love coming here as a champion. It's been that difficult.
It's been that difficult for the last 7 years. In fact, they're not 5, they are 7. 7 years
yes. of trying. Yes. She's decided to come with the Uganda Golf Union president, Moses Masiko. The last time we met, we were on the course. I accompanied him for a round of golf. I was watching what he was doing because I'm a prospective player and should start very, very soon. President, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Isma. Good evening, viewers. Yes, I remember you. Yeah. And I hope you remember a few good shots I took that day. So when you come to the game,
there's some you played into the trees and I walked the entire 18 rounds. You need to improve, I can say.
Working on it. Thank you.
But there wouldn't be a better way to start than Irene. Irene, just take us through, you've said 7 years of trying to win the Uganda Open. What was happening in those 7 years? Yeah. What is it that was not coming through that came through this weekend?
Back in the day, I used to play very good golf. In fact, what annoyed me most, I would make a very good practice round towards the competition, and all of a sudden, things do not work out. So last year when I lost, the other year, 2019, I lost to Martha in Kampala at UGC. Martha Babiria, yes. Yeah. So I find this gentleman, he finds me there. I'd practiced with him a month earlier. So he tells me, why did you lose this competition? I say, I cannot explain. What went wrong? I couldn't point at anything. He says, okay, next year I'll manage you and we'll pull it off. Okay. This gentleman is called Yunus Bali. So he gave me a whole 6 months this year. We've been playing together and tried to find out what is going wrong. So come 2021 Uganda Ladies Open, I wanted, first of all, to expose myself outside the country. Good enough, I had to go to Tanzania.
Yeah, I saw before winning the Uganda Open, you've been on such a journey of collecting. You are winning in Tanzania, you're winning in Nigeria.
Yes, I went to Tanzania and we played 3 days like we normally do. I played with Angel, Madina, and Nema Olomi in the last day. Yeah. So we're tied for the lead with Angel, and Madina caught up with us, and we went for sudden death with Madina. I beat Madina hands down.
Whoa. And Angel was the one torturing you back here?
Yes, Angel was the one torturing us.
Yes.
So when I returned, the Nigerians told me, aren't you coming to defend your title here down in Ikoya? I said, okay, I'll be there. So that week I traveled to Lagos. I played and won again. I said, okay, this is a good trend. So I had to miss the UGC Ladies Open because I was
that was won by Martha Baviria the previous week, yeah?
I missed it because I was a bit fatigued and I said, I think I need a break to go for the big icing.
Okay.
So come this weekend, I went for the Open. Day one was miserable. I said, not again, not again. So Yunus Bali calls me and says, what went wrong? I said, my driver could not find the fairways and we were given preferred lie. Okay. That was a big advantage. You put the ball where you want it and smack it. So I said, I missed all the fairways, so I was struggling to score. He said, fine, you have a winning club in that bag. Drop the driver, pick that 3-wood. You'll work it out. Wow. So he came a bit late, day 2, and I knew he was a bit late, so I used the driver. I said, no, I cannot play with the 3-wood.
Wow.
He first told me, will you listen when I tell you something? I said, I will listen. So he says, use the 3-wood. I said, fine, I will. So when I realized he wasn't there, I used my driver, and he still did the same thing. So we went up to number 5. I used it again. I blocked that driver to the trees. I had to play out, and I got a double bogey.
Okay.
He was there. He was watching. He laughed. He didn't say anything. He just laughed.
Okay.
So I told my caddy, that's the end of the driver. So from number 7 up to the last 18th I used my through-wood. And
that is day 2.
That's day 2.
Day 2.
Day 3, this time I didn't bring in anything else. I used my driver, and it was such a simple decision that I could not make myself. I emerged a champion. I took the lead day 2, and I said, I have not led before. I am not dropping these 2 strokes to this game.
You played per day 2?
I played level 5.
Level, yeah.
Yes.
I played level 5.
71.
Pulled off all the 8 strokes that I was trailing with.
Yeah.
And led by 2.
Yeah, because I was looking at the scoreboard after day 1. Melon Chomugisha was leading by 7 strokes.
Yes.
And you know, the first thing when you look at a scoreboard, you're looking for Irene Nakalembe and Martha Babiri. Because we had all thought these are the 2 that are going to be competing on the final day.
Yes,
and then they were not even second. I was thinking, come on. Is this a wrong leaderboard or something? Yeah. So then how do you pull? Now you've pulled back the 8 strokes that you're trailing on day 1.
Yes.
On day 2, how does day 3 unfold? The pressure. You've been there, failed so many times. You've gone into a final day leading and then finish it second, finish it third. What's the mentality on that Saturday?
Now, Saturday, that is when I understood the word pressure.
Okay.
Pressure piled on me, but I stayed to stay calm. I wanted it so bad. I realized earlier in the years I was losing it because I had too much anxiety. You know, when you want something so bad, then it kind of slips away slowly and then you're miserable again.
Okay.
So this time around I said, no, I am leading. I know these people I'm playing with. I've played with Mercy so many times who are with her in Tanzania. So I said, just stay calm. The front 9 normally in Entebbe can be a disaster. So I played level gross front 9. I said, there's no way anyone is taking this from me. So I stayed calm. I got rhythm. I led with 5 strokes teeing off number 14. So Mercy takes away 1 stroke. They remain 4. She takes away another one on 15. I say, it's okay, I have 3 to go. She takes away another one on 16.
Whoa.
I still said, I have 2 strokes, 2 holes to go.
Yeah.
She's human. She'll also, somewhere, somehow, things can happen. Stay focused. You are still leading. And then, when we reached hole 17, they were Kope challenge. She went to the left, and left is terrible. You can't risk going to the left.
Okay.
You better go to the right. You can always figure things out. She went to the left, crumbled, got a triple bogey. I got a bogey. So reached 18, I was so relaxed. I knew now this is the day.
You can't drop. You wouldn't drop 4 shots on the final
I
hole.
would not drop 4 shots. I would do whatever it takes.
Before going to Tanzania, at least getting that feel of you can win, and then you go to Nigeria, and then also I think I can win. Now you're coming back home, you're like, I think now I can go for it. But before all that, was there a point where you thought this might never happen?
No, I never thought about that because one, I always played well and I always trusted my golf. But somehow something was missing, and I realized now, like I said, Yunus made that one decision. That 3-wood got me on all those fairways, and you cannot start struggling for scores from the rough. So I always knew, and even when I lost, I used to talk to press guys and what. I never ever made a statement that I've given up. And even deep inside me, it never felt like so.
As she's worried about drivers and 3-woods and 7 irons, Moses Masiko there is worried about the bank balance. And it's been a very, very difficult period for golf. Last week when we were on this show, we talked about how many tournaments you have coming up. And that's one of those we're celebrating Nakalembe's victory. Not because you don't like the other golfers, but how important is she to ladies golf today?
Thanks, Dakaba. First of all, I think it's, I'd like to congratulate Irene Nakalembe for, she has tried so hard. She's been in a very great playing form. And her coming through at her home club in Entebbe, which she has tried for several years, 7 years, is a great thing. First of all, it's inspirational to many other young ladies that are trying to go for this big thing and win it. But two, to the ladies who play golf in the country, this is it. A Ugandan wins Ladies Open in Uganda in Entebbe. It's a big story. The young girls that are in across all over the country, from Arua to Meta Club to Ginger Club to Fort Portal, they have somebody they can look at. Now that Flavia is a bit out of the picture, playing professionals, So Irene is a big inspiration. Her win means it all. And also, you know, to the sponsors that, you know, keep up the game going in the difficult times. Tusker Malt, NTV, you know, National Council of Sports, Britam, Pinnacle. Everybody now knows that, look, we put money in the Ugandan event and Ugandans can come out and win. So it's a good thing.
The other thing I think that has bothered you, how difficult has it been to organize? You're coming out of this COVID-19 lockdown. You haven't had so many tournaments. Now you have this Ladies Open. When you walk out of here, I bet you're not going to have sleep for the next few days because the amateurs are joining the fray. The seniors are not too far away. The pros are going to play. It's quite, how difficult has it been organizing this entire thing?
It's very difficult indeed, but the miracle that the Uganda Open, our biggest premium event, is happening this year, is again enough. It gives us enough power to think positively and say, look, here it is, let's deal with it, let's spend our energy, let's talk to friends of golf, and let's make it happen. So that alone gives us the drive to push it. But yes, it's very difficult. We just completed on Saturday the Ladies and Seniors Open. 2 days we're starting the main event, which is the Amateur Open. A lot of players are coming across the region. And then the week after that, we will have the professionals coming across the world. Yeah. Because we have people coming from Europe, players coming from West Africa. And then we will also have something special which we put in there. The past presidents of the union in Uganda, and the regional past presidents and chairmen. This is to try and rekindle the fraternity of golf in terms of memory, in terms of the coordination and cooperation we've had within the region. So it's all good. And again, I'm grateful to our sponsors, starting with, you know, Tusker Malt, Absa Bank, Britam, Aegis, you know, the National Council of Sports, Case Medical, and NTV who have made it happen. But also I'm grateful to the athletes. You heard from Irene herself, who've come out to, under these difficult prevailing circumstances, to put up a good show.
You know, Andrew, I want to give you a chance to ask a question to Moses here. And last year I was at the coast to watch the amateurs. And I walked out after day 3 because Joseph Kinyoa, who had gone to support, choked badly on the back 9. I told myself I'm not going back to the golf club. I actually was telling him maybe me watching him, because it's actually the first time I'd committed myself to watch a round of him playing. I told him maybe I'm one of your cousins.
And he's one of those who has, you know, this niche of putting off one round where he just beats everyone, but then he disappears in between before the final day.
So it's one of those things that when Moses, when he was mentioning, it took me back the memories of being at Uganda Golf Club last year for that Open. But Irene, before I return to Andrew and wrap up his segment, did the familiarity of the Entebbe course help? How much did it help?
It helped a lot. One,
you play there every week.
I play there every week. It is home. It is my home club. I've grown and been bred at Entebbe Club. It's my favorite club in the whole world.
Okay. Doesn't that add pressure on you?
Of course it added pressure, but I mean, at the end of the day, we are achievers.
Okay.
So, but I also want to thank the title sponsors, Tusker Malt, who made it possible. It's been a bit difficult, so bigger.
Maybe Moses, when you look at the leaderboard,
the last one,
when you look at the leaderboard, 8 are Ugandans. We've had at least, you know, Tanzanians, Eton, especially, she's won it I think 3 times, come in and interrupt. How do you feel about Ugandan women golf? In a nutshell, of course, we have more numbers we enter more numbers, but the fact that at least they dominate the leaderboard, is that a measure of how far you've grown, or you still have lots of ground to cover when it comes to women golf?
100%. Ladies golf has been on the growth, you know, in many ways, and just as you put it, to see that from number 1 up to, you know, the top 10, you have Ugandans. It's a demonstration that work has been done. Good work is going on in the country about golf. And the ladies that Irene played with, these are seasoned players. These are players that have played across the continent. So to see that she puts up the fight, because for me, as the president of the union, at the end of the day, I also look at the scores. So the scores she was able to pull off, and the rest of the Ugandans, like Bavidia Matha and Peace Kabasweke, were very, 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 very promising. So I can see that they're getting ready for even bigger events. But Irene is a testimony. She just won Tanzania Ladies Open, and then in Nigeria within a spell of a month. I mean, that's an outstanding show, and I'm happy. And again, very grateful to our partners, the sponsors, who have helped us to see that this is happening in the hardest of times.
Thank you very much. That is Moses Masiko, the president of the Uganda Golf Union, and also Irene Nakalembe. Big congratulations. We still have to talk a lot of Oleguna Social later in the show. We also have to do a bit of Mr. Uganda, but Moses Masiko, one final word. And guys, remember you can join us on Twitter. Find NTV Pressbox and the hashtag, but please promise NTV that Mark Sally will get what he wants from you. His kit.
Yes.
For lefties.
Yes.
Very tough to find. I was in Japan and I went to a shop where there were no kits for lefties. By the way,
before I entered the studio here, I did a little bit of background search on where I can get the quickest and best left-handed clubs, and thanks to eBay, I mean, I'll get you. Uganda Golf Union will get Mark left-handed clubs so that he can come back to the game that he loves so much. We love your commentary on Tiger Woods. Everybody is happy. Everybody in golf across the world is happy that Tiger is able to come back and show that he can play again. It means a lot to us. Your clubs will be ready whenever you're ready to hit.
You know, and I know I mean it like I went to a shop that sells golf equipment for charity. They pick it from golf clubs, players that are disposing of, and they sell it to second hand and give a percentage to charity. And there are only right-handed kit. Promise you, there was only right-handed kit. So I know when Mark is crying out to get that kit. Thank you very much, Irene. I hope the next time we meet, you've defended it and won another one and now another one. And the guys in Entebbe, thanks for the organization. We are going to take a break. And when we get back, remember, there's still a lot to talk about. A team that conceded 4-0 and their manager is still in charge.